Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Roleplay Central. Today's going to be probably a pretty big one because we're going to be redoing our updating kind of redoing, re-editing our pirate class that's on DM's Guild. So I'm not sure if John has seen much of it, but he's going to find out as we go along.
This was like one of the first things that we made, and it was just me and Chyler that made it originally. And then,
this is before Metagames Press was even a thing,
right? Yeah. A little bit.
This was back when we were still jacked up.
I think we were still jacked. Yeah, we were still jacked up.
We were doing
at that time, and that was all three of us, right? But
Tyler and I have both drawn up some notes.
We both made notes on separately, so we have completely different notes and ideas, probably.
Yeah, different versions of the thing by accident. And then he had a different version than I did.
Yep,
that's due having literally like 10 different file versions in my computer.
We were updating. We were updating from different versions.
Yeah, nice. So I think he went off of the version that's supposed to be on DM's Guild, and I went on the version that is on DM's Guild. So yeah, but we'll make it work. So
all right. I mean, how much notes do you have? Do you want to go first?
I've just got a little bit, but do you want to,
or do you want to just start early?
Do you want to take notes on everything we're talking about, or do you want me to?
Do you want to? Because I mean, yeah, but we could just I could talk about the three big changes that I talked to you about.
Yeah,
and what I think with those.
Go over that first,
right? And then we can. So this is not going to be this is a pay what you want on DM's Guild. So you can grab this potentially for free. Hopefully you pay us, but you can.
Yeah.
We appreciate it if you pay us for it.
Hope that you
give us at least a little bit.
We can understand if you don't.
But anyways, so the first big thing that I wanted to change was because we sort of base the class on the rogue, right? Like it's an alternate. Yep. It's an alternate on the rogue.
Parlay was kind of the main thing.
So we put the feats at the same place that they are on the rogue. So this gets 5 ability score increases like the rogue does.
Yeah.
Or is it 6? I mean, not 5. So instead of extra attack, I got rid of extra attack. In favor of adding a feature at level 1 that upgrades at level 5.
Okay.
And then you want me to talk about what that is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I call this feature Pirate's Life. And it's basically you get a few options, and this helps distinguish what type of pirate you are, right? So I was looking up different types of pirates, and you got privateers, corsairs, buccaneers, raiders. You've got stuff like that, So I was looking into it, and most of those are actually just different types of privateers.
Oh.
Right, and a privateer is somebody who's paid by somebody or contracted by somebody to be a pirate.
Okay.
And to attack specific factions.
Interesting.
Right? So you have the privateer, and then I went with Reaver, which is like the raider, kind of the more combat focused one.
Mm-hmm.
And that your crits get better, and you deal more damage when you're bloodied. And then I have Adventurer, which is just sort of in the movies or the TV shows where you see they kind of make a lighthearted kind of a play at a pirate. And so I did that, and
or they're more out searching for treasure and
exactly. So you have Adventurer, Reaver, and Privateer. That's what I went with.
Cool.
So that is replacing, in this suggestion, that would be replacing extra attack. And then
is Parlay still going to be one of the main
Parlay is still the
things?
Core feature.
Okay.
So the core feature in the pirate is called Parlay, and that allows you to charm a certain amount of people a certain amount of times per day, essentially. Right. And you can guess where we got that from. I'm guessing you can guess where we got that from.
Yep.
A certain movie.
Seems.
Certain movie.
Certain.
And then so the second thing I did, I got rid of a feature we called reputation because it was actually redundant with parlay, right? It gave you advantage on charisma checks with people, but like parlay harms people, so it gives you an advantage on charisma checks. So I got rid of that in favor of a feature that I based on Jack Sparrow mostly.
Right.
So it's basically like how he can find quick escapes, right? Like when he's in a tight situation, he can always find a way to get out. So this I called Lucky Break. And basically you have advantage on ability skill checks when you're looking for secret doors, exits, traps, things like that.
That's cool.
And then the last thing was just a move thing. I just moved. So like I said, it's based on the rogue. And so we had it at 3, 9, 13, 17. But I moved it to 3, 6, 13, 17.
Okay.
Just to fit everything so we had features at different levels.
I like that though,
so,
because it's
like that's the bulk of what I'm suggesting that we change about it.
Okay.
So I'm wondering now you can go into what you think.
Well, what I had, so I like your change to the reputation features. I mean, I had the same thing on a reputation. I said that we should change if we were going to keep it the way it was, we should change it to change the ocean to a body of water so that it fits more campaigns, in case there's not an ocean-based campaign or anything near a coast. Then any sort of body of water.
And I just completely got rid
of it. But yeah, I mean, another thing is like,
do that, dude.
Another thing is, the Hour of Liberation ability I wanted to use because I thought we were we were looking at the same one, right?
No, I kept that.
No, I know, but this was before I found out we were in different versions. So
okay,
so I want to keep that ability.
Okay.
Another thing is like simple stuff for me. Curse transference. I think the ability needs to say hit points rather than life. Instead of gaining back life, it needs to say gaining back hit points. Just sort of an editing thing.
What about the core pirate? Any other?
There was something about brutalizing strike.
I changed that too.
Okay.
But what about the core pirate? Do you have any other ideas about the core pirate?
I think 3 sheets to the wind. I think we need to remove that and do something different with it. It just doesn't. Let me pull that up again so I can tell you why.
I think we basically use that because they're always drinking. So it lets you use the use an object action as a bonus action. So you can drink as a bonus action. Basically.
But see, like the reason why is because of that beginning part. I figure DMs are already doing that a lot of the time.
Well,
using simple objects or using as a bonus action, including some people even do opening chests as a bonus action and stuff like that.
But I mean, that's like a DM fiat thing. Like the core rule says that it's an action.
True.
So like,
and now in the new version of D&D in the 2024 handbook and stuff, it is now bonus action for potions specifically. Yeah. But it's still action for pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
So
and this is just use an object action, so you could potentially use this for other things.
Okay. I was going to suggest. With 3 sheets to the wind, because that implies you're drunk and functioning on drunkenness.
Well, I mean, you could potentially change the name because of how it's used. You could change the name to like Iron Stomach or that, or I don't know, something that has to do with your actual body.
I was going to give you a bonus to charisma for the ability.
Oh, for the ability?
Yeah. Basically,
I don't know. I mean,
and like keep the last part. The resistant to poison you'd still keep, but you'd also get a bonus to charisma while you're drunk.
Well drunk
to your score, not just rolls to your score.
Okay, yeah, we could add while drunk.
Yeah.
But
other than that, that's not that much to add to that ability or change. I'm cool with also keeping it if it's if we like it that much. One What else did I have? The artillery ability from 2.0 seems like it could be good.
Yeah, I moved it. But
yeah,
we'll go over that.
And I think that's all I had. From
but
what
yeah,
I
think
at.
that's a good idea. Giving them a buff to charisma, if they're drunk.
Yeah.
So, talk about subclasses.
I was just thinking, with that parlay, ability, because it does have to do with more charisma, you know. How would you feel about adding some sort of a tier list almost?
What?
For instance, I mean, because as a pirate, right, you're going to likely get into trouble. More than likely.
Yeah.
Right.
Criminal.
And a lot of towns aren't going to like you very much. But if we add like a tier list into it where if you've been to a town enough, you can actually increase your reputation so that they would, so that they like, if you do bad things, maybe at certain reputation points or whatever.
Yeah, we could call it, we could do,
they're going to maybe turn a blind eye to you. Either, because some towns may just look at you and be like, oh, get rid of him. He's a pirate, or, it's where.
Yeah.
If you
I like that, but I like giving them that early.
Standing there.
I like giving them that early, like level 1 or 2.
Yeah. So that you can be building it from the start.
You gain points to your reputation.
Yeah.
And
depending on what you do or whatever.
Yeah, you're more likely to get arrested. But if you gain points, you like it's easier.
It kind of adds to it.
Easier to find fences. It's easier to get to pay people off.
So I'm confused. How is it working?
So like you have a reputation that's an amount of points.
Okay.
Right, and then doing things.
Just depending on what you're doing in the town or whatever.
It either
raises or lowers.
Increases it or lower.
Yeah, and if it lowers, then people are more hostile. If it raises, then they're more
lenient or.
So add that
might be easier to find. I think we could add that at level 1 or 2, potentially, because it's not necessarily a buff all the time. So we could add that just as an extra thing.
So here's an idea I just thought of. What about creating a subclass that is based on the more, like how the flow of how your reputation is, and also incorporate the drunk aspects of how pirates are. Incorporate that into a subclass.
Well, and I feel like
should we going to
play a pirate class? I think
that potentially that reputation thing, isn't like specifically a pirate thing. Like I think you could write an alternate rule.
It could
for D&D, like a variant rule for D&D.
Yeah.
Could be. I was going to say
that with that kind
but I feel like if you're playing the pirate class, you're likely to be. You're like the world that you're playing him in is going to be more geared towards that type of.
Well, that's what we can do. Is we can just include a variant rule in the release.
You may not be playing a game where that's the case,
a good idea to
but
include that in here as a variant
as
rule.
an option. Yeah,
as a variant rule. Yeah, we'll do that. So include reputation feature.
Because if you're playing a game full of pirates, I feel like the world is going to be kind of geared more around like, okay, a lot of people aren't going to like you.
A reputation feature,
and there could be a town that's just totally fine with pirates,
and then there could be certain factions that you're buddies with that you have a bonus to your reputation with. Yeah. Right, like maybe if you're a member of a guild, you have like a plus so much bonus with that guild.
Yeah.
Right, to your reputation.
Yeah, that actually be really easy for DMs to
because it could be
run NPCs.
That would be a good variant rule
because it should be done for probably for guilds like you were saying, but also towns and cities. Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
Okay,
so we'll write that in as a
trying to think if there was anything else. The problem was with me and you looking at different versions. I got to relook at the other version.
So should we move on to subclasses?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the cursed pirate. So what I did to this one, well, my suggestion anyways, and all I did was add a feature at 3rd level. So now it gets 3 things at 3rd level. And this is sort of like, when we made this, I think we intended it to be like based on like the Pirates of the Caribbean cursed pirates.
Yep. Yeah. The people in
So what I gave him was timeless form. You don't age and you're immune to aging effects. Because like those pirates were like they were in effect immortal because they were the same so I added that
when they gained the curse.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I added to that, which is just a buff. So
the only thing
about that?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I had for the subclasses was the brutalizing strike thing, which got changed as well.
I can tell you what I think.
Didn't you mention you changed the Viking to a different name?
Raider.
The Raider.
This is more generic.
Yeah,
because like Viking has like a really specific like cultural context, right? You could potentially make it Viking, but I think it would be different than a general Raider.
Yeah.
You could call yourself a Viking.
Yeah, you can call yourself a Viking.
It's more of a customization thing to make yourself a Viking than it is to
like character customization. So what I did,
it'd also be interesting with that cursed pirate. Is giving the orc acid.
Oh, the one that where if they drop to 0, they instead pop to 1.
Yeah,
we could potentially. We'll definitely have to think about that.
I was just thinking about it.
The second
we would have to
basically.
We could tie it. We could tie that in with the timeless form ability.
Because I was just thinking about
you don't
it.
Age, and also,
you're kind of
if you drop to 0, at least the first time every day, you
kind of come back and you're not.
So we could
dead.
we could add that to timeless form.
Yeah.
Instead of adding it as another feature entirely, we could add it to timeless.
I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to. I was just.
It's a decent idea. Because they are sort of undead. They're hard to kill. They're hard to kill. So what I did, or my suggestion for the brutalizing strike, I changed it to brutal strikes, which is just a name change. But I said, so I left the you have advantage on strength ability checks. I left that.
Okay.
But I said, and your attacks deal extra damage equal to your strength modifier. So your attacks in general just do a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
And I mean potentially that gets big later. No. Unless you rolled a 20 on your strength at first level, then you're dealing 10 extra damage per hit, which is probably a problem. Probably a problem. And then getting rid of extra attack as a core feature, I added extra attack to the Raider because they're a more combat focused pirate. That's all I did to the Raider.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I like it. I mean, a lot of it was cool. So you're keeping combat superiority?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kept that on this version. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I did add another.
Let's hear it.
Because you remember I took the artillery feature that I was saving for the gunner.
Yeah.
And I took that for the gunner.
Right.
So I added rampage.
Okay.
So at 17th level, if you kill a creature with an attack on your turn, you can move up to 10 feet and make an additional attack with the same action. But you have to kill with the hit. Right. So like you're not going to chain this very much unless you're attacking like one hit die goblins, right? Yeah. Then you're just going to destroy the entire village.
Yeah. It'd be fun. But at 17th level, that kind of makes sense. At 17th
level, you're probably not fighting
the
local town people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might get an extra attack here and there, but
spread out, guys. You can't move more than 15 feet between attacks. That's all the enemy force has to do is spread out.
They just take one step back and you're just
dang it. They're over here. Yeah. Joke's on you. Hand crossbow.
But yeah, so it's powerful, but it's limited.
Is it only with melee though?
No, I didn't. I didn't specify.
You may want to specify that.
Yeah, probably.
Because I feel like if you were to just run around, you run 15 feet, shoot the next guy with the crossbow.
I'll put melee in there. I'll do that for sure.
Yeah.
Or a hand crossbow. Because you could just dual wield, have a hand crossbow and a sword.
That would be so funny.
Just running around hacking people. You're like, kill them, okay. Or a blunderbuss.
But again, you're still only doing that to really low level enemies.
True.
Right.
So I have a question. This is going back to the main class.
Yeah.
How do we feel parlay is? Do we feel that's good?
I still like it. I still like where it is because like you can still use it a lot, right? And it's pretty powerful.
Well, and I think if we do add that additional,
but like that's going to be an additional rule. That's not going to be like an
and if they use it, it could potentially become more powerful.
Yeah,
as the game.
But if they use it,
yeah, and
potentially.
Yeah. I like that it's something that we've made the mainstay of the class, and we've incorporated it into the other ones, into the other subclasses. So, I was just back to see what you guys thought about that.
And realistically, even if we just made that system more rounded.
Yeah, I think we do.
So that just anybody who can, they could just use it.
I'll start writing that out.
It could be just like a reputation. It could just be more.
I'll see what I can come up with.
Reputation based.
Yeah. There is. I should mention there is like I think it mentioned like reputation and reputation points, stuff like that in the 2014.
Oh, okay.
Like it mentioned a version of that, but I think we can write our own version.
It'd probably be better.
We like a little bit better.
Yeah. Also, one thing I wanted to consider is what do we feel about maybe putting in a getting a ship sort of ability throughout the class.
I think
what if
that's
you just integrated that into like a bastion type system?
I think that's sort of like a separate system, the thing like that's going to happen over the course of the game. I think like if you're playing a pirate game and you're actually sticking to that it's a pirate game, then probably by like 5th or 6th level you're going to be stealing your own ship.
Yeah.
If you're not running your own ship,
or
anyways,
first level you try to do it.
if you're not running your own ship already, right? You're going to be stealing something or cheating somebody out of it, or assassinating somebody.
All right.
We should just make another system kind of similar to the Bastion system that goes more
and that works like ships and stuff like that into it.
That would be cool to do.
Yeah.
Just to give more of a guideline of like, hey, if you want to make it easy, guidelines.
Well, do you guys
No, I was just gonna ask. Do you want me to go over the gunner, or are we gonna save the extra sub? Or
we can go over stuff. I just want like generalize it. So we don't.
Okay, so the gunner, it's sort of focused on explosives and cannons, right? So we talked about basically you get a gun, right? You get a what I call a hand cannon.
Yeah. Right.
It's medieval times.
Yep.
The gun deals 2d8 bludgeoning damage. It has a knockback. It can only hold two shells. Anyways, I won't read every ability, but the 13th level ability gives you a bunch of extra types of ammo. So you have explosive rounds, incendiary rounds, smoke rounds, and fragmentation rounds. So like you just get a bunch of new types of ammo that all do stuff. And then the last ability is artillery. So basically you can call in, as long as you're within a mile of your ship, you can call in artillery fire on a certain point on like a 60-foot radius. So it's a pretty big radius.
Yeah.
Basically, right. But it's 17th level. It's the same level casters get Meteor Swarm, and this deals less damage than Meteor Swarm. So so this shouldn't be a problem.
In addition to the
I won't go over the Dread Pirate. I think we'll just
let that.
go with the release.
In addition to the ammo, you should add in like
other more types,
different kinds of combinations, almost.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
can you think of more types than the ones that I mentioned?
Well, I'm just thinking like, because like with a blunderbuss, right?
Yeah.
They're not worried about what's going in the.
Yeah.
In the cannon,
shove forks and knives and stuff down.
Forks, knives,
Yeah.
rocks,
Broken
whatever
glass.
they got. And
Well, I mean, we could potentially add
it would be
list
interesting.
we could add a list of firearms.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
we
but
could
then
have-
also add like damage types. So like if you're mixing in, like throw a few knives and some rocks, it's gonna deal
Yeah, and I
bludgeoning and piercing or something.
Yeah, I might add
Or
a list
slashing
of
or
firearms.
whatever.
Yeah, I think that list of firearms
you
could
can
be
pick
good.
one, and then
Or
and
two.
Then you can
then
you can
couple of
you
them.
can get more right as
Yeah.
you like loot stuff.
Mhm.
Find more.
Yeah, it's going to work alongside the one that I was going to bring up. One of the ones I was going to bring up. He
did like a gunslinger.
Yeah,
one,
I did a
right?
gunslinger, which is similar to it, like not really similar to a gunner, but still uses guns, but it's more. If any of you have seen the gunslinger from Critical Role, it's slightly functioning a little bit like that, where they have grit you can spend and stuff like that. I call it tenacity, to do different stuff. Like one of the things I'll just say is to make an offhand attack, or to use precision, which gives you, you can add your pirate level on the attack, the attack roll and stuff like that. But the other one that I'm more excited about is the smuggler pirate, which is focused on like
Smuggling.
Yeah, it's literally based on its name. So there's a lot of things in here, but I will just say the main one, which is Smuggler's Mark. It's a long ability, but you basically choose something as your loot, and then you're able to follow that loot, and you get bonuses to once you get that loot, sort of a thing. So
Track stuff.
yeah, it becomes an item tracker almost, an item or an object tracker. So I can't remember what the spell is where that tracks your object, tracks something that you
Locate object.
Yeah, locate object. It's kind of focused a little bit on that, but also expanded because it's in general you're able to tell direction, a lot more direction and a lot more detail. But yeah, those are just a little bit of the two that I've made for it. But I don't know if either of you have any suggestions for anything else.
I don't have anything else right
Okay.
now.
All right.
But next we're gonna be up. We are gonna. I don't know if we're gonna do it on the podcast, but next we're gonna be we are gonna be updating the.
But I do want to do something a little bit cool. I can't show it like in person because I don't have it, but I want to show the cover art for Heroes and Hearts that I just got. And
You're gonna just put it up on
yeah,
screen.
it'll be on screen now as we're talking about it. Heroes and Hearts is coming soon. Everything's going smoothly so far. And yeah, I hope to have the Kickstarter information coming soon, just in case anyone out there is curious about the system. But and then let's see, you released the chase information on the Patreon.
We released on the Patreon. It's like a short gamified like a chase generation system. Right. It doesn't help you like map chases or anything like that, but it's I think it's better than the one of the DMG, right? It's at least interactive, right?
Mhm.
You're actually playing a game with the players instead of
Instead of
just making it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out if you get on our Patreon.
Yeah, and there's a lot more stuff on there. Last month was the quick look into Heroes and Hearts. And then
The superheroes.
the superhero generator as
is
well.
still free on Patreon for anybody.
Yep. And updates coming to that somewhat soon. What else have we released? Is that it?
That might be it for us.
Yeah.
I know Wizards of the Coast just released the UA for their new Artificer.
Oh yeah.
You guys looked at that? New Artificer.
I haven't looked at it too much.
Updated
but
Artificer.
I've been
Did they
listening
make
to
it
people
better?
talk about it.
What?
Did they make it better?
I don't know.
Oh.
Probably not.
So I feel like they kind of
Probably not.
screwed
Like
up
that's
that first
I
one.
had a huge like I
my
really
opinion.
don't like a lot of the updates that they made to the classes in general. Right? They just made they made the ranger more of a caster and took away all the rangery stuff. that was in there.
which
Like,
doesn't
all
make
the-
any sense.
all the interesting ranger stuff. They didn't make that better. They removed it to add more spells, which nobody wanted.
I feel like
Yeah.
they kind of made it a lot of the classes
Worse.
lazy.
I think they-
Like they just went lazy with it. It's like, let's turn everything into casters.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Literally everything in
Everything
D&D
has
everything in
access to
everything
spells.
in 5e is a caster. Like,
Like, it doesn't make
take,
any sense
It
either.
doesn't
Though.
take any effort to become a.
I think
I think that's it.
I think that's it for this episode. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you
Yeah.
subscribe and check out our website, our Patreon, DM's Guild, all that stuff, Drive Through RPG. There's links to everything on our website, and it's metagamespress.com. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel for sure, because we're going to keep going with this podcast, and more things are going to be coming soon, so you don't want to miss it. But yeah, just happy holidays to everyone. This is kind of coming out after after Christmas, but yeah, Merry Christmas, happy
Merry
holidays
Christmas.
to all of you.
Yep. We're filming this on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. So
Yep.
kind of after Christmas, but what the heck.
It's fine.
Yeah. But thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.